this is Justin with Constantly Calibrating, here with Monty Owen.
Hey, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. How do you always look fabulous, man?
Yeah, eBay.
eBay?
I buy all this on eBay. This jacket's from Forever 21, but this jacket's from eBay. It's also a dress, actually. It's a dress under a jacket over pants, but it works.
Multiple functions. How's RTX treating you this year?
Good. It's not yesterday. Last year was great. This year is better. Somehow we're like almost twice as much, I think, than last year, but somehow everything's even smoother. Somehow it's crazy. Guardians are doing a great job. They're all like phenomenal.
And with that, I guess we'll jump right into the get into production and all that. How's Red vs. Blue going for you this year as well?
Well, I'm not working on it.
You're not?
It's just Ruby. I help out every now and then. Miles will be like, "Hey, Monty, can you look at this fight sequence? I wonder how it's going," because he has to direct Chris,
you mentioned earlier,
the new guy. And I look at his stuff and I say, "Okay, that faster, that slower. Hold on that more. Can I read that?" Just a lot of like, just consulting on the fight scene stuff, because I've done it for so long. I know the characters still in and out. I probably watch Red vs. Blue more than anyone in the office, but I don't have time. I really don't have time, because Ruby takes up so much energy and time, and I have to also go to my other animators. That longer, that faster. Can I read that more? That's too much acting. Not acting enough. Give me more facial. It just goes on, and it's like, oh, and then I have to go animate my stuff, and it's just like, it's a lot of work. It's a miracle I'm here right now.
We need more people.
Yeah, we need more people.
So, but you did transition between that and the first production for season 1 of Ruby, right?
Oh, yeah.
Red vs. Blue, Ruby.
Yeah, absolutely. Like season 10 of Red vs. Blue, probably the smoothest run season, biggest one ever. Giant fight sequences, spaceship battles. We'd watch Pirates of the Caribbean and be like, we want these ship battles to be like fire, cannons all on full and stuff like that in outer space. But then, as soon as Red vs. Blue season 10 was done, I mean, we were halfway through season 10, and I'm thinking about Ruby, because the name came to me, and I'm like, all right, let me start with Sniper Scythe. And I made the trailer in 2 weeks, and it was actually 5 minutes long, and didn't have any editing to it. It was just like, fighting, kill, wolf. And then, as soon as the music came, I'm like, oh, now I had an actual context of how fast, slow the pace of this should go, and it was edited a lot more tighter and faster and more efficient, less gratuitous. And then we had the Red trailer. There was a weekend, there was a Sunday. It was pouring rain in the studio. And I'm just working on this, and I was the only one there, because after every season of everything we've ever done, people just expand and unwind. Just like, oh my god, I can't believe we got that finished. But I was just in the office toiling away, and Bernie comes in, he's like, Monty, you're the real deal. Because I was just like, why should I stop? I got another thing going. This is cool. And it's just and then it was done. We showed it as soon as the season 10 was scheduled to air.
Very nice. Well, jumping into Ruby, where do you draw your inspirations from for the series?
Oh, so many things. I mean, I'm a 90s anime kid. I'm a 90s kung fu movie kid. We're talking Drunken Master and Iron Monkey and Once Upon a Time in China, all those Jet Li and Jackie Chan and Donnie Yen movies. And then I think my first anime I really liked might have been Dangayo. It's like, wow, it's like, what is that? It's a robot anime where it's like these 3 girls, this one guy, they pilot these planes that turn into a robot. It's great. Macross and stuff. But, it took a few years for me to actually start making things. I mean, it wasn't until 10 years later I was actually making stuff. And the current thing back then, when I was 22, it was Naruto and Bleach and a lot of the staple animes. And I was watching those and thinking, oh man, it'd be cool to make one. But, how was I going to make this stuff? I'd been messing with 3D software and animation. And I actually started off hand drawing animation back even in high school, but I never thought it'd actually become real. So I would actually just draw the still frame of the movies that I thought I wish I was making. I would make a Photoshop or a movie poster. It's like, oh, this could be a movie one day, but not really, because I could never do it. But then, given enough time, I was like, well, maybe I can do it, because I actually had a theory, and then Haloid was made, and then it's just like, oh, there we go.
I was about to say, that's when I didn't know I was a fan of Monty Owen then, because I had to look up who made it, but I remember back in the day with pretty much game trailers,
yep.
Some of the few sites you can only see, video game-like footage.
Mm-hmm.
then I rolled upon Haloid, and I just had to show everybody. It was a unique. Definitely haven't seen anything like that at that time.
Yeah, that was the most important thing. Is that despite the homage to other movies, no one else was making stuff like that, and that's the thing you really want. If you want to put yourself out there, you have to be different. And how do you say, how do you be different? There's a thing I actually encountered in thought a few weeks ago. I was like, I'm the best. I was like, I'm not the best animator. I'm not the best editor. I'm not the best model. I'm not the best at anything. But I am the best at all those things that I do. So really, the only thing I can say is I'm the best Monty. Just be who you are and be the best at it. If you can say you're the best person you are, anyone can say that. And the only thing you can do at that point then is direct who you are towards what people want. Mm-hmm. And so that at that point, it's not really about being the best. Be the most unique. And so when you deliver something that's unique, people will then gravitate towards it because it's unlike something they've ever seen. People have not seen... It's not like Haloid was anything phenomenal in terms of choreography, animation, modeling, or anything. It was phenomenal because I did it. It was phenomenal because no one had seen someone do something like that before. It was phenomenal because it wasn't possible. It wasn't impossible on a technological side. It was impossible on a production side. The tools are available, but no one had actually sat on a project for 5 months, delivered an end product that was a beginning, a middle, and end, like as if it was a short film. This was not pre-YouTube, but this was in the early days of YouTube, where short films were something that people had to invest in cameras and actors and stuff. So it's hard, but it's always worth it. And every time an animator or aspiring animator comes up to me, how do you do it? It's like, get started now, and maybe in 7 years you'll be good enough, and someone else will see you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And hey, let's jump to where we're at right now. RTX 2014. You revealed RWBY Season 2, first episode.
Yeah.
How do you feel that reaction went versus the initial release?
Oh, it was great. Oh, man. This year, I mean, it's not spoilerish to say that it was not just a fight scene, but it was a hilarious fight scene. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it, but I heard about it and have a question about it.
Okay.
We had a spoilerific one with Miles, and we'll get right into that.
Okay. But yeah, people loved it. All the jokes were so, read so well. And then when the fight scene started, it was so much cheering because I guess people couldn't believe what they were seeing, what was happening, and the context was great.
With that fight scene, spoiler, one word I heard about this through the whole thing is food fight.
Okay, yeah.
And Miles kind of explained.
If Miles already said it, then yes. Do you ever see that episode of Community with the paintball fight?
Yes.
Yeah, right. The music was serious. The acting was serious. Everything about it was serious except for the context, which is dumb paintball fight. That was like the example. It's like, okay, if we're going to do a food fight, it needs to be a Monty food fight. Everyone would say, I want to see what Monty would do with a food fight. And a few weeks of work went into it, and I'm like, how do I do this? And then I realized I should just take it as seriously as any other fight scene I would do. The stakes need to be just as bad. It's like people die. Yang is punching turkeys at people. People get sent through the ceiling. Like towers collapsing. It's like a food fight on the scale of anything else I'd done. But it's also a dumb fucking food fight. So it's like, we laugh at ourselves for coming up with this, but every time in our studio we're like, God, this is so stupid. This is going to be great. Is the words that follow it afterwards.
So how did the production team handle that? You just walk in and like, guys, I want a food fight.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. We're talking like January. I'm like, okay, what are our fights this year? I said, food fight, and then you saw it in the trailer, robot fight. Because I'm like, sure, why not? Like last year we had monsters, this year we'll do robots. And then maybe next year there might be something else. And then another thing, which I can't talk about. Hopefully won't get spoiled either. But, yeah, very often I go to Miles and Carrie at the beginning of the year and I say, these are the points I want to hit. Not just food stuff, too. Not fight stuff, too. Story stuff. Like, all right, we need to focus on this character this year. Or, last year this was really great, but people really wanted more of it. And so let's do more of this. Let's do more of that. Or, this was good, but we could have got this story done in one episode instead of 2. So let's do that, So we definitely have a lot of refinement and evolution for the story.
And with this, RWBY has to have time to grow with the fan base. How are you reacting to all your characters come to life in cosplay?
It is ridiculous. I love seeing it because it's like every time I see a person, like I know that pain of like the sewing and the burnt fingers and the cuts, and I'm like, I mean, like a lot of this stuff, like the jacket I have been wearing this weekend, I was pinning those studs in at 5 a.m. on Friday. I got a 2-hour nap and then came to the panel.
And,
It's tough, but it's always worth it because, it's why not be fabulous,
Exactly.
I mean, I get to be fabulous 2 days out of the year, so why not?
With that, how's it like seeing your cast come to life in cosplay?
Yeah, that was great. Anna, Matt's wife, is such a creative person, and she's always looking for opportunities to do things. There were some other costumes we wanted to make, but we're like, let's do the default ones first, and then we'll maybe do some evolved costumes from there. But like, Anna took the reins on that and took the measurements, worked with all the girls, put her free time into it. She's a full-time mom, and that's way more work on its own, but she was like, she wanted to do this on top of also helping out with the company lately. And then once that was done, we showed it at the panel, and people were like, oh my god, it's so great. I didn't even know this was happening. They did a poster of a fashion shoot with the girls in formal wear, and I was like, this is beautiful. I didn't hear about this until I walked in the store and saw the poster. I'm like, oh my god, these girls are gorgeous.
Okay, I think we have to wrap things up, but what do you want the fans to take away from Season 2 of RWBY this year?
I want you, and this is what we're working at, I want you to learn more about the characters, because that's what the season's about. I pushed some ideas from Season 2 into Season 3 to give the characters more time to breathe. We've got 12 episodes that are all at least 12 minutes, because we're giving them the screen time they deserve, because that's what people wanted. They wanted more to learn more about the characters. So we're doing that. And so you'll get a lot more time for each of the characters this season.
Alrighty, cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us,
Absolutely.
Monty. This is Justin with Constantly Calibrating with Monty Owen.
Good to be talking to you again.
Excellent.
I'm sure we'll have another one next year, unless we run into each other at PAX or Comic-Con or something.
Oh, we hope so.
Awesome. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bid you a good sign-off.